I, 37F, have been married to my husband, 40M, for 8 years and have been with him for 10 years. We also have a 1-year-old, and since our baby girl was born I have gone back to work but only work 15 to 20 hours a week, making about $1,500 a month. The past 4 years have been very trying for us due to financial issues related to a lawsuit he has been fighting, which has cost him a lot of money and stress. I say him and not us because he is the breadwinner in our family, and although I work part-time, it's in retail. And when we first met before we got married, he bought the house we live in based on his income and not mine. The lawsuit he is fighting for is worth him fighting for, as he is a partial owner of a business and his partner one day decided he didn't want my husband to be a part of it and decided to just kick him out of the business and stop paying him quarterly for what the business brings in. So, I have faith that he will eventually get paid for this once the courts have settled it. But I also know that there's no telling how long it will be until something is decided, as it's already been 4 years and not settled yet. This has caused him, and I, a lot of stress and has drained his bank account's backlog. I should add that prior to this, life was good. He never looked at prices of things, always had money, we would go on vacations. But now we never have money. He lashes out on me for not contributing enough financially, but I pay for groceries, etc., and food for our baby and 2 dogs, one of them being diabetic and needing special food and insulin every month. I also pay for our part-time nanny 1 day a week. For the past year or 2 my husband will wake up in the middle of the night and start crying, and sometimes when I'd ask what's wrong he'd lash out at me and tell me I'm clueless and have no idea what's going on in his life, but that maybe if I paid a bill I'd have a clue. One of our dogs, the non-diabetic dog but bigger and can be aggressive, can sense my husband's energy/emotions, and has started to bark aggressively now when she hears him start yelling or crying, which will upset my husband more, make him yell even louder at the dog. And I will not yell at the dog and rather make sure our 1-year-old is safe and try to keep her from being frightened, which ultimately ends up with my husband getting even more angry that I am choosing to make sure the dogs and baby are taken care of and not him. At first I would get up and console him, but as time goes on it has become a daily thing and I'm becoming numb to this. I feel like I'm constantly trying to cheer him up, while also trying to not let myself go into a depression for our child, and have mastered the art of putting on a happy face and blocking out the bad stuff, so I can focus on having positive energy for our child and dogs for that matter. The kind of outbursts he has, which are daily, mind you, involve him yelling at the top of his lungs, veins popping out of his head, the kind of yelling where your voice kind of has a high pitch to it like in the movies when someone is about to explode, followed by sobbing. 1 minute he's screaming at me for not caring enough about him or paying a bill, and the next he's crying. So I clearly don't feel like running over to him to give him a hug after he's had his outbursts. I should also add that after our baby was born he started accusing me of cheating on him, which I am not, saying I'm always on my phone, and it's gotten so bad that he will regularly wake me up in the middle of the night accusing me of texting, or even FaceTiming someone while in the same bed next to him. I've given him permission to look at my phone whenever he wants. I've even put my phone on opposite side of bedroom, so he can't accuse me of being on it at night, but he's now saying that I must have a secret device I'm messaging people on and that he can hear me texting. He says the reason for him believing I'm cheating on him is because I clearly don't have affection towards him and our lack of sex life lately. I've told him that I'm constantly exhausted due to being a first-time mother, and that when accuses me of cheating on him, that too doesn't help me want to have sex. I love my husband and hate seeing him like this. I keep telling myself that once the financial issues subside will be better, but it's changing me as a person. I'm no longer the happy person I used to be, and he's become so angry that I even hesitate to bring him around friends or family in fear that he'll have an outburst towards me in front of them or at them. I don't want to leave him as I feel like he has no one left. He's ruined a lot of his relationships the past few years because of his anger, and people just don't feel comfortable around him. He used to be so fun to be around. Now people don't want to be around us because you never know what you'll get. He doesn't care if my mother or brother are visiting, and will even have one of his outbursts towards me calling me everything under the sun with them in the same room. It's embarrassing, and puts my family in an uncomfortable situation as well. He claims that if I gave him the love and respect he's been asking for the past few years, that he wouldn't be this way. Is this really my fault? Am I really a bad and selfish person who doesn't care about him? I don't think this is my fault. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not seeing something. Should I be dropping everything every time he starts crying and run over him to tell him everything will be okay, even though there's a chance he'll yell at me for not being aware of anything? I just don't know what to do anymore.